Agriculture in India, simple explanation. 1. What is agriculture? Agriculture is the practice of growing crops, raising animals, and managing land for food production. It includes crop cultivation, e.g. wheat, rice, vegetables, animal husbandry, e.g. dairy farming, poultry, forestry, e.g. planting trees, timber production, modern techniques, e.g. irrigation, fertilizers, genetically modified crops. Example, a farmer in Punjab grows wheat using modern irrigation systems to increase production. 2. Role of agriculture in India. Agriculture is the backbone of India's economy. It supports a large population. 43% of people in India work in agriculture, nearly half of India's workforce. At independence, 1947, 70% of India's GDP came from agriculture, and 85% of people worked in this sector. Today, agriculture's share in GDP has decreased because industries and services are growing faster. Example, earlier, most people in villages worked on farms, but now many work in factories or IT companies. 3. Agriculture and globalization. Exports and imports. India exports crops like rice, wheat, and spices to other countries. It also imports agricultural products. Global impact. International markets affect Indian farmers, e.g., if wheat prices drop globally, Indian farmers earn less. Technology transfer. India adopts farming techniques from other countries, e.g. hybrid seeds, organic farming. Example, India exports basmati rice to Europe, but if global demand falls, farmers earn less. 4. Sustainable agriculture. Sustainable farming means growing crops without harming the environment. It focuses on eco-friendly methods, e.g. organic fertilizers, crop rotation, reducing chemical use, e.g. using natural pesticides instead of harmful chemicals, soil and water conservation, e.g. rainwater harvesting, drip irrigation. Example, a farmer uses cow dung as fertilizer instead of chemical fertilizers to protect soil health. Short trick to remember. Use AGRI to recall key points. Agriculture's importance, backbone of India. Globalization impact. Exports, imports, technology. Role in GDP, decreasing but still significant. I, innovation, modern techniques, and sustainability. This will help you quickly recall the important points in exams. Nature of Indian agriculture, simple explanation. 1. Low productivity and stagnation. What it means. Indian agriculture produces less compared to other countries. Why? Outdated farming methods, old tools, no advanced technology. British rule focused only on collecting raw materials, not improving farming. Population pressure, but low investment in agriculture. Example. A farmer using a bullock cart instead of a tractor leads to slow work and low output. Key point. India's farming methods are old, leading to low production. 2. Small uneconomic land holdings. What it means. Farmers have tiny pieces of land, making farming unprofitable. Why? Land keeps dividing among family members over generations. Small land areas, less than 0.4 hectares, make large-scale farming impossible. Example. If a farmer owns a very small land patch, he cannot use modern machines, making it hard to earn good profits. Key point. Small land sizes reduce profits and make farming inefficient. Subsistence farming, just for survival. What it means. Farmers grow food only for their family, not for selling. Why? Low production, no surplus to sell. Lack of market access and support. A farmer grows rice only to feed his family and has nothing left to sell in the market. Key point. Most Indian farmers grow crops for their own use, not for business. 4. Dependence on monsoons, rainfall. What it means. Most farms depend on rainfall instead of irrigation. Why? Only 32% of farmland has irrigation. The rest depends on rain. If it doesn't rain, crops fail, causing farmer losses. Example. If the monsoon fails, farmers in Maharashtra face drought, leading to crop failure. Key point. Indian farming is risky because of unpredictable rainfall. 5. Unemployment and poverty. What it means. Too many people depend on farming, but there are not enough jobs. Why? Small farms need only a few workers, but entire families work on them. Lack of modern farming methods reduces efficiency. Example. A farmer's family of 5 works on a small farm, but only 2 people are actually needed. The rest remain disguisedly unemployed. They seem busy, but don't add productivity. Key point, too many workers in farming lead to hidden unemployment and poverty. Short trick to remember, use slump to recall key points. S. Stagnation and low productivity. L. And is small and uneconomic. U. Unemployment and disguised labor. M. Monsoon dependence. Or farmers, subsistence farming, no profits. Tip, if you remember slump, you can easily recall the key problems in Indian agriculture for exams. For an Indian economy, simple explanation. 1. Share in national income. What it means. Agriculture contributes to India's total income, GDP, though its share is decreasing. Why? Industrial and service sectors are growing faster. Developed countries have lower dependence on agriculture. Example, in 1950, agriculture contributed 70% to GDP. Now it's around 17%. Agriculture still plays a major role in India's economy, but its share is declining. 2. Source of employment. What it means. About 60% of Indians depend on farming for their livelihood. Why? Lack of industries in rural areas. People don't have other job options. Example, a farmer's family continues farming because there are no factories or offices nearby. Key point. Agriculture provides jobs to most Indians, but shows lack of industrial growth. Supports industrial development. What it means. Many industries depend on agriculture for raw materials. Why? Cotton for textile industries. Sugarcane for sugar industries. Food processing industries rely on farm products. Example, a cotton mill needs cotton grown by farmers to make clothes. Key point, farming supplies essential raw materials for industries. 4. Boosts international trade. What it means, India earns foreign money by exporting farm products. Why? Crops like tea, coffee, spices, and tobacco are in high demand globally. 15% of India's total exports come from agriculture. Example, India is one of the biggest exporters of tea in the world. Key point, agriculture helps India earn money from exports. 5. Growth of tertiary sector services. What it means. Services like banking, transport, and warehousing grow because of agriculture. Why? Farmers need loans, banking. Crops need to be transported, logistics. Grains need to be stored, warehouses. Example, trucks transport wheat from Punjab to different states, boosting the transport sector. Key point, farming supports other businesses like banking, transport, and storage. 6. Revenue for government. What it means. The government earns money from agriculture through taxes and duties. Why? Land revenue and irrigation charges from farmers. Export duties on farm products. Example, the government earns money when farmers pay for using irrigation water. Key point, farming contributes to government income through taxes and duties. 7. International recognition. What it means. India is a top producer of many crops. Why? India ranks first in tea and groundnut production globally. Example, India's Darjeeling tea is famous worldwide. Key point, Indian agriculture brings global fame to the country. Supports internal trade within India. What it means, people in India spend a big part of their income on food items. Why? 90% of the population spends 60% of their earnings on food. Rice, milk, tea, etc. This keeps internal trade strong. Example, farmers sell vegetables in local markets, keeping trade active. Key point, agriculture drives local trade as food is a basic necessity. Short trick to remember, use Sciati Gree to recall key points. S. Share in national income. I. Industrial growth, raw materials. International trade exports. Tertiary sector growth, banking, transport. G. Government revenue taxes. R. Recognition worldwide, top producer of tea, groundnuts. I. Internal trade, food market. I. India's major employment source. Tip, if you remember Sciati Gree, you can quickly recall the role of agriculture in India's economy. Problems in agriculture sector in India, simple explanation. Agriculture in India faces many challenges. These problems can be categorized into 3 types. 1. General issues. 2. Institutional issues. Technical issues. 1. General issues. 1. Overcrowding in agriculture. What it means. Too many people depend on farming, but land size remains the same. Why? No other job opportunities. People leave handicrafts and join farming. Land gets divided into tiny pieces, making farming inefficient. Example: a farmer with 5 acres has 3 sons. When he divides the land, each son gets only 1.6 acres, which is too small for profitable farming. Key point: too many farmers, small land holdings, and low productivity. Discouraging rural atmosphere. What it means: many farmers are illiterate, superstitious, and resistant to change. Why? They rely on old farming methods. They don't see farming as a business. Belief in fate stops them from improving. Example: a farmer believes adding fertilizers will anger the gods, so he avoids them, leading to low yields. Key point: farmers need education and modern thinking. 3. Inadequate non-farm services. What it means: farmers lack basic financial and marketing support. Why? Banks do not give enough loans. Farmers depend on moneylenders with high interest rates. Poor storage and marketing facilities lead to cheating by middlemen. Example: a farmer takes a loan from a moneylender but cannot repay it, losing his land. Key point: farmers need better loans, storage, and fair pricing for crops. 4. Crop losses. What it means: natural disasters and pests destroy crops. Why? Floods, droughts, insects, and diseases damage crops. Lack of insurance increases farmer losses. Example: heavy rain destroys a wheat field, leaving the farmer with no income. Key point: unpredictable weather and pests reduce farm productivity. 2. Institutional issues. 1. Defective tenancy reforms. What it means: land reforms were poorly implemented. Why? Farmers don't own the land, so they lack motivation to invest in it. Example: a tenant farmer doesn't improve the soil because the land belongs to a landlord. Key point: without land ownership, farmers don't improve farming. 2. Lack of credit and marketing facilities. What it means: farmers can't plan or invest due to lack of financial support. Why? No easy loans. No proper places to sell their produce. A farmer grows extra rice but can't sell it at a good price due to lack of buyers. Key point: farmers need better loans and markets for their crops. 3. Small and fragmented land holdings. What it means: farmland is divided into tiny, inefficient plots. Why? Families keep splitting land over generations. Small farms cannot use modern machines effectively. Example: a farmer has 4 small plots spread over a village, making it hard to manage. Key point: small farms reduce efficiency and limit growth. Technical issues. 1. Old and outdated techniques. What it means: farmers still use old methods like wooden plows and bullocks. Why? Low awareness of modern farming. Not enough HYV seeds, fertilizers, or pesticides. Example: a farmer using a bullock cart instead of a tractor takes more time and effort. Key point: modern tools and technology are needed for better productivity. 2. Poor irrigation facilities. What it means: 60% of farms depend on rain, which is unreliable. Why? Lack of canals, wells, and dams. Even available irrigation is poorly managed. Example: a farmer loses his crop due to delayed monsoons because he has no well or bore well. More irrigation projects needed to ensure water supply. 3. Unscientific cropping patterns. What it means: farmers grow the same crops every year, reducing soil fertility. Why? Lack of knowledge about crop rotation. Not matching crops with soil and climate. Example: farmers in dry areas keep growing rice, which needs a lot of water, leading to soil damage. Key point: crop rotation and planning can improve productivity. Short trick to remember: use GIT for quick recall. General issues: overcrowding, rural problems in agriculture sector in India, simple explanation. Agriculture in India faces many challenges. These problems can be categorized into 3 types. 1. General issues. Agenda for action: solutions to agricultural problems. Agriculture in India faces many problems. To improve the sector, the following solutions can be implemented. 1. Effective land reforms. What it means: ensure fair land distribution and proper wages for farm laborers. Why? Many farmers work on land owned by landlords. Small farms are unproductive. Example, a farmer who owns his land will invest in better farming techniques. Key point, farmers need land ownership and better wages to improve agriculture. 2. Modern technology in farming. What it means. Use improved seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides for better productivity. Why? Traditional farming methods give low yield. Modern farming improves quality and quantity of crops. Example, a farmer using H-high-V seeds, high-yield variety, gets twice the harvest compared to a farmer using old seeds. Key point, farmers should use modern tools and training for better crops. 3. Better credit facilities. What it means. Farmers need easy and affordable loans to buy equipment and seeds. Why? Farmers depend on moneylenders who charge high interest rates. Government banks exist, but lack coordination. Example, a farmer takes a low-interest loan from a Grameen bank and buys a tractor, improving his farm's productivity. Key point, farmers need better loans with lower interest rates. 4. Scientific cropping pattern. What it means. Encourage diverse crops instead of focusing only on wheat and rice. Why? Dependence on only 2 crops is risky. Growing different crops increases soil fertility. Example, a farmer grows pulses and oilseeds along with wheat, reducing soil depletion. Key point, diverse farming makes agriculture more sustainable. 5. Improved irrigation facilities. What it means. Better water supply through river linking and irrigation projects. Why? 60% of farms depend on rain, which is unreliable. Irrigation ensures steady water supply. Example, a farmer with drip irrigation grows more crops than one depending only on monsoons. Key point, better irrigation will higher productivity. 6. More agricultural research. What it means. Develop new and better farming techniques through research institutes. Why? Lack of funds, experts, and labs slow down progress. Connecting research with real farms helps farmers. Example, scientists develop drought-resistant wheat to help farmers in dry areas. Key point, research must reach farmers for real improvements. 7. Better storage and distribution. What it means. Improve warehouses to stop food from rotting. Why? Poor storage leads to huge food wastage. Some regions lack food while others waste it. Example, government builds cold storage units to store perishable goods like fruits and vegetables. Key point, good storage, less waste, and more food security. 8. Population control. What it means. Reduce rural population growth to prevent tiny landholdings. Why? More people, smaller farms, low income. Example, a farmer with 5 sons divides his land into tiny plots, making it unprofitable. Key point, smaller population equals better land distribution. What it means, farmers should work together to sell crops at better prices. Why? Individual farmers get low prices. Cooperatives negotiate better deals. Example, a group of farmers sell crops in bulk and get higher profits. Stronger farmer groups equals better profits. National agricultural policy. What it means. The government must focus on agriculture growth. Why? Agriculture should grow above 4% per year. Growth should benefit all farmers. Example, the government increases support prices for crops to help farmers earn more. Key point. Government policies should focus on balanced agricultural growth. Short trick to remember. Use Limrich Farm to recall the solutions. L. Land reforms. I. Irrigation. M. Modern technology. R. Research and development. I. Improved storage and distribution. C. Credit facilities. H. Healthy population control. F. Farming cooperatives. A. Agricultural policy. Restructuring crops. M. Marketing and selling. Tip. Just remember Limrich Farm, and you'll recall all major agricultural solutions. Farm output in India. India has a huge agricultural sector and is a global leader in many farm products. Let's break this down. 1. India's agricultural resources. 10th largest arable land in the world. 20 agroclimatic zones. India has all 15 major global climates. 46 out of 60 soil types available. Key point: India has a diverse and rich environment for farming. India's top crops. Largest producer: spices, turmeric, cumin, cardamom, pulses, lentils, chickpeas, milk, tea, cashew, jute, mango, and banana. Second largest producer: wheat, rice, sugarcane, cotton, oilseeds, and vegetables. Key point: India is a global leader in food production. 3. Food, grain, and horticulture production. Record 284.83 million tons, 2018 to 19. Target 285.2 million tons, 2019. Horticulture production 314.86 million tons. Key point: India's food production is growing every year. Agricultural exports. India is among the top 15 exporters of farm products. 2018, 2,647 crore, $38.21 billion. 2019, 20,687 crore, $2.96 billion as of April. Popular exports: ready-to-eat items, 4,821 crore, 689 million. Spices, US $3.1 billion. Tea, 240 million kilograms, 36-year high. Coffee, 395,000 tons. Key point: India exports huge amounts of food worldwide. 5. Government policies and future goals. Agriculture Export Policy 2018. Target: increase exports to 9,340 crore, US $60 billion by 2022. Doubling farmer income by 2022. 2015-16, 96,703 per year. 2022-23 target: 9,724 per year. Upcoming developments: more investment in irrigation and storage, better seeds, genetically modified crops, higher minimum support prices, MSP, for crops. Key point: the government is investing in farming to increase income. 6. Food safety and quality measures. Indian food products are adopting international standards like ISO 9000, ISO 22000, quality assurance, HACCP, GMP food safety. Key point: better quality equals more exports and profits. Short trick to remember: use Big Fast Farm to recall the key points. B. Biggest producer of spices, pulses, tea. I. Irrigation and cold storage investments. G. Government policies: export, MSP, doubling income. Food production is growing, horticulture, grains. A. Agricultural exports: tea, spices, coffee. S. Soil and climate diversity: 46 soil types, 20 zones. T. Total quality management: ISO, HACCP. Fruits and vegetables: second largest producer. A. Ambitious target: 60 billion exports by 2022. Record food production: 285 million tons. More farmer income: 2.2 lakh per year target. Tip: just remember Big Fast Farm, and you'll recall all key points for your exam. Policy of India. India's agriculture policy focuses on food security, farmer support, and industrial linkages. Let's simplify it. 1. Agriculture and economic reforms. India has made big economic changes in various sectors, but agriculture is still the backbone of the economy. Agriculture is under state control, as per the Constitution, but needs central support for success. Key point: both state and central governments must work together for agriculture. 2. Who controls agriculture? State government's role. Land improvement and agricultural loans, irrigation and fisheries, local level farming policies. Central government's role: launch national agriculture programs, ensure food security, enough food for all, support agro-industries, fertilizers, machinery. Key point: state controls farming, but the central government provides funding and policies. 3. Importance of center-state coordination. Agriculture needs support from industries like fertilizers and food processing. Policies for food processing are controlled by the center, but need state approval. A strong system is missing to bring state and central policymakers together. Better teamwork, better farming policies. 4 goals of Indian agriculture policy. Food security. Enough food for all citizens. Self-sufficiency. India should not rely on imports. Farmer welfare. Ensure good crop prices for farmers. Affordable food. Protect consumers by keeping prices reasonable. Key point: policy balances farmers' profits and consumer needs. Short trick to remember: use S-farms to recall the key points. S, state and center coordination is necessary. F, food security for all. A, affordable food for consumers. R, reforms help agriculture grow. Manufacturing industry supports farming. S, self-sufficiency, no imports needed. Tip: just remember S-farms, and you'll recall all key points for your exam. Agriculture Policy Framework of India. The agriculture policy of India has changed over time to improve food production, farmer welfare, and trade policies. Let's break it down simply. How 1. Early focus, 1950-1965, land and food security. What happened? Focus on increasing farmland to grow more crops. Land reforms, ending landlords, land ceiling laws, support for cooperative farming and credit institutions. Key change. Government realized that expanding land was not enough. Better technology was needed. 2. Green Revolution, 1965 to 1980. Technology boost. What happened? High-yield seeds for wheat and rice. Use of fertilizers, pesticides, and irrigation. Setup of Food Corporation of India, FCI, and Agricultural Prices Commission. Key change: India became self-sufficient in food production. 3. 1980s-1990s, diversification and economic reforms. What happened? Use of Green Revolution tech for other crops, pulses, oilseeds. Diversification into fish, poultry, vegetables, and fruits. Subsidies increased, but agriculture was not fully liberalized. And rural banks gave loans to farmers. Key change: agriculture started moving towards high-value crops and allied sectors. Hash 4, 2000s, National Agriculture Policy. What happened? Achieve 4% annual growth in agriculture. Focus on efficient resource use, soil, water, biodiversity. Priority on eastern and northeastern regions for development. Public food distribution system reforms. Key change: shift from food security to farmer income and sustainable agriculture. 5. 2010s, market reforms and sustainability. What happened? Global trade participation, exporting crops. Expansion of food subsidies. Technology-driven agriculture, GM seeds. Key change: focus on market access, sustainability, and tech-driven farming. Short trick to remember. Use G-Farm to recall the policy evolution. G, Green Revolution, high-yield seeds and tech. F, food security focus, self-sufficiency in grains. A, agricultural diversification, fish, poultry, fruits, vegetables. R, reforms and trade liberalization, NAP, farmer loans, global markets. M, market-driven policies, export GM crops, efficiency. Just remember G-Farm and you'll recall all key points for your exam. National Agricultural Policy. The National Agricultural Policy aims to increase food production and improve the standard of living for farmers while ensuring food security for India's growing population. Why was NAP 2020 needed? Key challenges: India had 250 million poor people, largest in the world. Malnutrition was high. 25% of children were seriously undernourished. 50% of women and preschool kids were anemic. High pressure on land and water due to increasing population. Key goal: ensure enough food for everyone by increasing productivity, more crops from the same land. 2. Growing demand by 2020. India needed to produce 256 million tons, M&T, of food grains. Sugar, 77 milliton. Vegetables, 136. Milk, 160. Meat, 9 fish. Eggs, 77.5 billion. Why? More population and income meant more demand for food. 3. Solution: increase productivity. Instead of expanding farmland, the focus was on better seeds, efficient water use, irrigation, modern farming techniques, more fertilizers and pest control. Targeted yields per hectare: rice, 2.7 tons, wheat, 3.1 tons, maize, 2.1 tons, vegetables, 25.7 tons, fruits, 24.1 tons. Livestock and poultry production goals: milk, 61.7 cent, eggs, 969 cent. Short trick to remember: use 3D Farm to recall key points. Focus on 3 problems: poverty, malnutrition, resource pressure. D. Demand rise: more food, milk, meat, eggs needed. F. Farming efficiency: better seeds, water, tech. A. Agricultural growth targets: more crops per hectare. R. Resource optimization: less land, more productivity. M. Modern techniques: irrigation, fertilizers, high-yield varieties. Tip: just remember 3D Farm, and you'll recall all key points for your exam. Main issues of National Agricultural Policy. The National Agricultural Policy focuses on solving key challenges in agriculture and using new opportunities to improve farming and reduce poverty. 1. Challenges, problems in agriculture. 1. Population pressure. More people, more demand for food. Need to grow more crops without expanding farmland. 2. Resource shortage and water scarcity. Overuse of land and water reduces soil fertility. Water sources are drying up due to climate change. 3. Low investment in agriculture. Farmers need better machines, seeds, and fertilizers. Poor farmers struggle to afford improvements. 4. Impact of globalization. Indian farmers face competition from foreign markets. Need policies to protect small farmers. 5. Need for better technology. Use of modern science, biotech, and new research is slow. Farmers need better access to modern techniques. 6. Rapid urbanization. People moving to cities equals fewer workers in villages. Poverty is shifting from villages to cities. 2. Opportunities, solutions, and advantages. 1. Protecting nature. Sustainable farming to protect soil, water, and environment. Untapped land and water resources. Better irrigation systems and efficient water use can increase production. 3. Science and technology revolution. New methods in biotech, space tech, and AI can boost farming. 4. Digital revolution. Internet and mobile apps can connect farmers to scientists and experts worldwide. Short trick to remember: use potato to recall key points. Population pressure, more food needed. O. Overuse of resources, soil and water depletion. Technology needed, biotech, research, AI. A. Agricultural investment, better funding for farmers. Trade and globalization, foreign competition. O. Opportunities in digital farming, internet, AI, data. Tip: just remember potato, and you'll recall all major points easily. Vision of National Agricultural Policy. The National Agricultural Policy, NAP, focuses on creating a strong and sustainable agricultural system by setting a clear vision for its future. It includes key principles that guide the government's agricultural policies. 1. Key elements of NAP's vision. 1. Organization of agriculture. Agriculture should be well-structured and connected to other industries like food processing, exports, and manufacturing. Example: if farmers grow wheat, it should be linked to flour mills and biscuit factories for better profits. 2. Sustainability and natural resources. Farming must protect the soil, water, and forests for long-term benefits. Just spending money on conservation is not enough. Policies must ensure results. Example: watershed projects should be properly planned to avoid water wastage. 3. Institutional change. New policies should remove unnecessary government restrictions and encourage private companies and farmer groups to participate. Example, allowing private companies to sell seeds and fertilizers directly to farmers instead of relying only on government supplies. 4. Investment priorities. More investment in rural areas is needed for better roads, irrigation, storage facilities, and technology. The policy should guide where and how much money should be spent. Example, building cold storage facilities for fruits and vegetables to reduce wastage. 5. Incentives for farmers. Farmers should get financial support, subsidies, and rewards for good farming practices. Example, giving higher prices for organic crops to encourage eco-friendly farming. Short trick to remember. Use OSLE to recall the key points. O. Organization of agriculture, well-structured system. Sh. Sustainability and natural resources, protect soil and water. I. Institutional change, less bureaucracy, more private participation. E. Investment priorities, more funds for rural development. Incentives for farmers, support and rewards for farming. Tip, just remember OSCE and you'll easily recall the vision of NAP. Important objectives of National Agricultural Policy. The National Agricultural Policy, NAP, aims to improve Indian agriculture by focusing on productivity, modernization, and farmer welfare. SHA-1, key objectives of NAP. 1. Increasing productivity of inputs. Goal, use better quality seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, and irrigation to increase farm production. Example, farmers using high-yield variety HYV seeds can grow more wheat on the same land. 2. Helping poor farmers. Goal, protect small farmers by providing easy loans and removing middlemen who exploit them. Example, government loans at low interest rates help small farmers buy better equipment. 3. Modernizing agriculture. Goal, use new technology and modern machinery for better efficiency. Example, drones for spraying pesticides can reduce labor costs and improve crop health. 4. Increasing yield of crops and livestock. Goal, boost the production of food grains, milk, eggs, and meat to meet growing demand. Example, hybrid crops give more output with the same land and water. 5. Protecting the environment. Goal, prevent soil erosion, water pollution, and deforestation caused by farming. Example, promoting organic farming instead of chemical-based farming. 6. Research and farmer training. Goal, develop better farming techniques and train farmers to use them. Example, agriculture universities train farmers on best irrigation methods to save water. Short trick to remember. Use PHMYER to recall key points. P, productivity increase, better seeds and fertilizers. H, helping poor farmers, loans and support. M, modernization, new technology and machines. Y, yield growth, more food and livestock production. E, environmental protection, sustainable farming. R, research and training, educating farmers. Tip, just remember PHMYER and you'll easily recall the objectives of NAP. Measures taken to achieve National Agricultural Policy goals. To achieve the objectives of the National Agricultural Policy, the government has taken several steps to improve land use, conserve water, and support farmers. 1. Key measures taken. 1. Using wasteland for farming. Goal, convert unused barren land into productive agricultural land and forests. Example, desert areas in Rajasthan are being developed for tree plantations and farming. 2. Preventing land misuse. Goal, stop agricultural land from being used for buildings, factories, or commercial purposes. Example, government restricts farmland from being sold for real estate projects. 3. Increasing crop production. Goal, use techniques like multi-cropping, growing different crops in a year, and intercropping, growing 2 crops together for higher yields. Example, farmers planting wheat and mustard together can earn more from the same land. 4. Water conservation. Goal, prevent overuse of groundwater and promote efficient irrigation methods. Example, Drip irrigation and rainwater harvesting help save water and increase production. 5. Supporting farmers financially. Goal: provide financial help and incentives to farmers and landless laborers. Example: PM Kisan's scheme gives $6,000 per year to small farmers for their needs. Short trick to remember. Use LPCWF to recall key measures. L. Land use wastelands for farming and forests. P. Prevent land misuse. Stop conversion into commercial land. C. Crop enhancement. Multi and intercropping for better yields. Water conservation. Smart use of groundwater and irrigation. F. Farmer support, financial incentives and benefits. Tip: just remember LPCWF and you'll easily recall the key measures. National Commission on Farmers, NCF. The National Commission on Farmers, NCF, was set up by the Indian government on November 18, 2004, under the leadership of M.S. Swaminathan, father of Green Revolution in India. 1. Purpose of NCF. Make farming sustainable. Ensure farming remains profitable for future generations. Increase farmers' profitability. Reduce costs and help farmers earn better. Improve credit and marketing. Provide better loan facilities and fair pricing for crops. Key work done by NCF. Submitted 5 reports between 2004 to 2006 with various recommendations. Final 5th report is most important. It focuses on improving the overall agriculture sector. Demand for implementation. Farmers want the government to fully apply these suggestions, especially reasonable minimum support price (MSP), to protect small farmers. Why is it important? If implemented properly, farmers will get fair crop prices, MSP increase, more financial security, better market access, and support. Short trick to remember. Use SPCR to recall key points. S. Sustainable farming, long-term profitability. P. Profitability boost, higher farmer earnings. C. Credit and market help, easier loans and fair pricing. R. Reports and recommendations, 5 reports, MSP demand. Just remember SPCR and you'll easily recall the purpose and importance of NCF. Of National Commission on Farmers, NCF. The NCF was formed to improve farming and farmers' lives in India. It focused on food security, better technology, and financial support for farmers. Let's break down its functions in simple terms. 1. Ensuring food security. Goal: ensure that every person in India has access to enough food. How? Develop a long-term plan for food and nutrition security. Example: making sure poor families have affordable food through ration shops. Boosting farm productivity and sustainability. Improve farming techniques using eco-friendly and climate-based methods. Use advanced technology, like biotech and climate-smart farming, to increase yield. Example: encouraging drip irrigation in dry areas to save water and grow more crops. Using technology in public policy. Improve rural employment by using IT, better training, and market reforms. Provide farmers with weather updates, credit facilities, and online markets. Example: using mobile apps to help farmers know the best time to plant crops. For attracting educated youth to farming. Make farming modern and profitable to attract young people. Improve crop farming, horticulture, fisheries, and agro-processing. Example: teaching youth organic farming and how to sell products online. 5. Increasing rural credit and investments. Ensure farmers get more loans at lower interest rates. Invest in agriculture research and development for better crops. Example: encouraging banks to provide easy farm loans. 6. Special support for dry and hilly areas. Develop special programs for farmers in drought-prone and coastal regions. Improve insurance and support for these farmers. Example: promoting drought-resistant crops like millets in dry areas. Making Indian farm products globally competitive. Improve quality of Indian farm products for export. Protect farmers from cheap imports by setting fair price rules. Example: teaching farmers about food safety standards for exports. A. Empowering women in agriculture. Provide loans, technology, and skills to women in farming. Ensure women have land ownership rights. Example, offering government grants to women for starting dairy farms. Strengthening local governments. Train local leaders to manage land, water, and biodiversity. Improve irrigation and water conservation projects. Example, village leaders working to build check dams for water storage. Addressing additional farming issues. Handle any other major farming problems brought up by the government. Short trick to remember. Farm grow. Food security for all. A. Advanced farming with technology. R. Rural credit and investment. M. Modernizing farming to attract youth. G. Global market for Indian farm products. Risk support, insurance for farmers. Ownership for women, land and loans. Water and land conservation. Just remember, farm grow, and you can recall all key functions of NCF. Key recommendations of National Commission on Farmers, NCF. The NCF gave important recommendations to improve farmers' lives, ensure fair land use, provide better water and credit facilities, and prevent farmer suicides. Let's break them down in simple terms. 1. Land reforms and proper usage. Give extra and unused land to farmers. Stop farmland from being misused for non-farming purposes. Protect the rights of tribal communities for grazing and forest access. Set up a national land use advisory service to guide farmers based on soil, climate, and market conditions. Example, ensure fertile land is used for crops and not converted into malls or factories. 2. Better irrigation and water management. Improve irrigation to help all farmers get water. Promote rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharge. Example, encouraging farmers to build ponds to store rainwater. 3. Easy loans and financial support. Reduce crop loan interest to make borrowing easier for farmers. Introduce a special Kisan credit card for women farmers. Create an agricultural risk fund to protect farmers from losses. Example, farmers should get loans at low interest rates just like students get for education. Preventing farmer suicides and health support. Provide affordable health insurance in rural areas. Expand the National Rural Health Mission to suicide-prone areas. Cover all crops under insurance and improve microfinance policies. Example, if a farmer loses his crop due to floods, insurance should compensate him to prevent financial stress. Short trick to remember. Life. L. Land reforms. Stop misuse and distribute land. Irrigation improvement. Water conservation. F. Financial help. Loans, insurance, and credit for farmers. E. Ensure health support, medical care, and suicide prevention. Just remember life to recall the key recommendations of NCF. Simple explanation. An industry refers to all businesses that produce similar products or services. It uses machines and human effort to turn raw materials into finished goods. 1. What is an industry? A group of businesses that make similar products, uses machines, human effort to produce goods, converts raw materials into valuable products, covers large-scale business activities. Example, the automobile industry includes all companies making cars, bikes, and trucks. Similarly, we have banking industry, banks and financial institutions, telecom industry, companies like Jio, Airtel, film industry, Bollywood, Hollywood, etc. 2. Industry versus agriculture. Industry, manufacturing and production, factories, machines. Agriculture equal farming and natural resources, crops, livestock. Definition by Webster's Dictionary, industry means manufacturing productive enterprises, different from agriculture. 3. Types of industries. Broad industry, a large sector like consumer goods industry, TVs, refrigerators, ACs. Specific industry, a focused area like air conditioner industry, only AC production. Short trick to remember. Impact. I. Integration of businesses, group of companies. M. Manufacturing, converting raw materials into products. P. Production, using machines and human effort. Activity scale, large-scale business. C. Classification, broad or specific industry. Types, examples, banking, telecom, film. Just remember impact to recall key industry concepts. Nature of industry, simple explanation. Industries are different from each other in size, competition, technology, and production. The nature of an industry is determined by several factors. Let's understand them one by one. 1. Market size and growth rate. Market size equals total businesses in an industry. Growth rate, whether the industry is growing, stable, or declining. Business life cycle. Introduction. New industry. Example, electric vehicles in the early 2010s. Growth. Fast expansion. Example, smartphone industry. Maturity. Peak sales, high competition. Example, soft drink industry. Decline. Demand drops. Example, landline phones. 2. Number of competitors. More competitors equals more challenges. Companies should track mergers, acquisitions, takeovers, etc. Example, Jio entering telecom made Airtel and Vodafone more competitive. Product differentiation. If all products are similar, competition increases. Unique products equals less competition and more sales. Example, high differentiation, Apple, iPhones look premium. Low differentiation, cement industry. All brands offer similar products. 4. Pace of technological change. Industries must adapt to new technology to survive. Example, Nokia failed because it didn't update technology fast. Samsung and Apple grew by launching new models frequently. 5. Vertical integration. When a company controls multiple stages of production. 2 types. Full integration. Owns everything from raw materials to sales. Partial integration. Owns only some parts. Example, Reliance Industries, fully integrated, owns refineries plus retail stores. Nike, partially integrated, outsources manufacturing but owns branding. 6. Economies of scale. Bigger production equals lower costs equals more profits. Industries must reduce cost per unit to compete better. Example, Tata Motors makes lakhs of cars, reducing cost per car compared to a small manufacturer. Short trick to remember, MCPVNE. M, market size and growth rate. C, competitors. Product differentiation. V, vertical integration. N, new technology. E, economies of scale. Just remember MCPVNE to recall key industry factors quickly. Industries. Simple explanation. Industries are divided into 4 major types based on their role in the economy. Let's understand them easily. Primary industries. These industries use natural resources to produce raw materials. Types. Extractive industries. Take resources from nature, e.g. mining, fishing, oil extraction. Example, coal mining, timber cutting, fishing industry. Genetic industries. Breed animals and grow plants for sale. Example, dairy farming, poultry, floriculture, flower farming. Shortcut. Nature-based jobs. 2. Secondary industries. These industries process raw materials from primary industries to make finished goods. Types. Manufacturing industries convert raw materials into final products. Analytical. One product, multiple products, e.g. crude oil, petrol, diesel, LPG. Synthetic. Many products, one final product, e.g. cement, paints, detergents. Processing. Multiple steps to refine a product, e.g. steel, sugar, textile. Assembly line. Parts assembled to make a product, e.g. cars, watches, TVs. Construction industries. Build roads, bridges, buildings. Example, dams, flyovers, highways. Shortcut. Making things. 3. Tertiary industries. These industries provide services instead of physical goods. Example, banking, insurance, transport, teaching, healthcare. Shortcut, service-based jobs. 4. Quaternary industries. These industries deal with knowledge and research. Example, IT companies, R&D labs, consulting firms, data analysis. Knowledge jobs. Short trick to remember. PSTQ. P, primary nature buried. Secondary making things. tertiary, service-based. Q, quaternary, knowledge-based. PSTQ helps recall types of industries quickly for exams. Importance of industry. Simple explanation. Industries play a key role in the growth of a nation and improving people's lives. Let's break it down. Uplifts the standard of living. Industries provide modern products like TVs, cars, furniture, and air conditioners, making life easier. Example, without industries, we wouldn't have smartphones, stylish clothes, or high-speed transport. 2. Aids in nation's income. Industries pay taxes to the government, which is used for public services like roads, hospitals, and schools. Example, industries like Tata and Reliance pay huge taxes, which help in nation building. 3. Liberates the nation. Without industries, a country depends on imports, buying from other countries at high prices. Industries make finished products locally, reducing dependence on other nations. Example, earlier India imported mobile phones, but now industries like Jio, Micromax, Lava manufacture them in India. 4. Rapid growth of income. More industries equals more jobs, more income. Higher productivity leads to a better economy. Example, IT industries like Infosys, TCS provide high-paying jobs, increasing national income. 5. Generates employment. Industries create jobs for skilled and unskilled workers, reducing unemployment. Example, automobile industry hires engineers, technicians, sales staff, etc. 6. Utilization of resources. Industries use raw materials efficiently, even recycling waste into useful products. Example, plastic waste is recycled into furniture and roads. 7. Earns foreign exchange. Exporting industrial products brings foreign money into the country. Example, India exports software services to the US, bringing billions in revenue. 8. Development of agriculture. Industries make pesticides, fertilizers, and farm machines, increasing crop yield. Example, tractors, pumps, and fertilizers help farmers grow more food. Short trick to remember. U uplifts standard of living. L liberates the nation. E earns foreign exchange. G generates employment. R rapid growth of income. U utilization of resources enhances national income. D develops agriculture. Yeah, agri equals key benefits of industries. Policy. Simple explanation. Industrial policy (IP) is a government plan that helps industries grow by providing rules, policies, and support. It aims to improve different sectors like public, private, and cooperative industries. What does industrial policy do? 1. Guides industrial growth, helps industries grow in an organized way. Defines role of industries, decides how small, medium, and large industries operate. 3. Controls and regulates industries, sets rules for businesses. 4. Encourages foreign investment, decides how multinational companies can invest. Includes economic policies, includes labor laws, tax policies, and trade rules. Definitions of industrial policy, easy to understand. World Bank. The government makes rules to change and improve industries to boost productivity. The government focuses on growing specific industries using different policies. Akademic. Industrial policy helps selected industries grow by using government resources. Example of industrial policy in India. Make in India. Encourages companies to manufacture in India instead of importing. Startup India. Supports new businesses with loans and tax benefits. Short trick to remember. GRCFE. G guides industrial growth. R regulates industries. C controls business activities, foreign investment rules. E economic policies included. GRCFE key points of industrial policy. Objectives of industrial policy, simple explanation. Industrial policy helps the government control and guide industries to make the economy strong and balanced. Below are its main objectives. Key objectives of industrial policy. 1. Correcting imbalances. Helps industries grow equally to avoid regional or sectoral imbalances. Example: if some states have more industries and others have very few, the policy helps in equal distribution. 2. Regulating resource flow. Ensures money and resources go to the most productive sectors. Example: government prioritizes healthcare, education, and technology industries. 3. Maximum resource utilization. Prevents waste and ensures efficient use of resources. Example: promoting recycling industries to reduce waste. 4. Monitoring private industry. Government controls private industries to ensure fair competition. Example: rules to prevent monopolies, one company dominating the market. 5. Defining industrial areas. Divides industries into private, public, and joint sectors. Example: railways, public sector; startup schools, private sector. 6. Ensuring equal wealth distribution. Prevents rich from getting richer unfairly and stops monopolies. Example: taxing big businesses and using funds for public welfare. 7. Controlling foreign capital. Sets rules on how much foreign companies can invest. Example: limits on foreign ownership in defense and telecom industries. Other important objectives: boost industrial growth, increase job opportunities, support socialist economy, more public sector industries, reduce regional inequality, make India self-sufficient, reduce imports. Short trick to remember: CRMPDEFO. C. Correct imbalances. R. Regulate resource flow. Maximize resource utilization. P. Private industry monitoring. D. Define industrial sectors. E. Equal wealth distribution. F. Foreign capital control. Other economic goals. CRMPDEFO. Objectives of industrial policy. Policy. Simple explanation. Industrial policy is important because it helps the government control, guide, and improve industries for economic growth. Below are the main points explaining why it is important. Key importance of industrial policy. 1. Establishes coordination. Balances different sectors like agriculture, industry, public and private sector for smooth economic growth. Example: if industries and agriculture work together, farmers get machines, fertilizers, and better prices. 2. Directs national resources. Ensures scarce resources, money, land, fuel, are used wisely for national priorities. Example: more focus on renewable energy instead of fossil fuels. 3. Helps in industrial development. Creates rules, policies, and strategies for business growth and better management. Example: Startup India scheme helps new businesses grow. 4. Prevents economic power concentration. Stops wealth from being controlled by a few big companies. Example: laws against monopolies, one company controlling an entire industry. 5. Ensures proper control. Helps the government regulate private industries and ensures they follow national objectives. Example: pollution control laws for industries to protect the environment. 6. Promotes exports. Encourages industries to produce goods for export, boosting foreign exchange earnings. Example: made in India products like textiles, software, and pharmaceuticals. 7. Prevents resource wastage. Avoids overuse or duplication of resources, ensuring sustainability. Example: using recycled materials in industries instead of excessive mining. Short trick to remember: CDIPCER. C. Coordination between sectors. D. Directs national resources. P. Prevents power concentration, control over private sector. E. Encourages exports. R. Resource conservation. CDIPCER. Importance of industrial policy. Industrial policy resolutions. Simple explanation. After India gained independence, the government introduced various industrial policies to develop industries and improve the economy. Below is a simple breakdown of key industrial policy resolutions, IPRs. Important industrial policy resolutions, IPRs. 1. Industrial Policy Resolution 1948. First, industrial policy after independence aimed to handle partition-related issues, food shortage, property loss, rehabilitation. Government took charge of key industries since private players were weak. Example, at that time, India needed strong industries to provide food, shelter, and jobs for refugees. 2. Industrial Policy Resolution 1956 promoted socialism and strengthened the public sector. Based on the Mahalanobis model, focused on heavy industries for long-term growth. Example, building steel plants, railways, and power plants to support industrialization. 3. Industrial Policy Resolution 1973 introduced joint sector, public-private partnership. Licensing became stricter, controlled large enterprises, gave importance to small-scale and cottage industries, encouraged small businesses like handicrafts and local manufacturing. Industrial Policy Resolution 1977, created by Janata Party government, aimed to reduce monopoly and economic power concentration, focused on consumer goods production and better resource use, encouraged coordination between agriculture and industry. Example, focused on rural industries, helping farmers and small businesses. 5. Industrial Policy Resolution 1980, introduced by Congress government to promote fast industrialization. Main objectives: maximum employment creation, boosting production and productivity, developing rural and backward areas, protecting consumers from costly and poor quality products, strengthening agriculture and infrastructure. Example, industries were encouraged in both urban and rural areas for balanced development. Short trick to remember, 15778 years of policies. How 1. 1948, post-independence recovery. 5. 1956, heavy industry and socialism. 7. 1973, joint sector, licensing control. 7. 1977, consumer goods and rural focus. 8. 1980, fast industrialization and employment. 15778, key industrial policy resolutions. Industrial Policy Resolution 1948, simplified explanation. After independence, 1947, India faced many challenges like food shortages, refugee rehabilitation, and economic instability. To guide industrial growth, the government introduced the Industrial Policy Resolution of 1948. Key features of Industrial Policy 1948. 1. State monopoly on key sectors. Government fully controlled industries related to defense, railways, atomic energy. Example, only the government could produce weapons, run railways, or manage nuclear power. 2. State to establish key industries. Government set up important industries like coal, steel, aircraft, and telecommunication. Example, establishment of Bell, SAIL, and Indian Airlines under government control. 3. Private sector allowed in regulated industries. Government regulated but allowed private companies in automobiles, fertilizers, cement, sugar, textiles, heavy machinery, etc. Example, private companies could manufacture cars, fertilizers, and cement, but with government oversight. 4. Freedom for private sector with conditions. Private businesses could operate freely except in strategic industries. No nationalization for 10 years. Assurance to businesses. Example, a textile company could be privately owned but might be nationalized later with compensation. 5. Foreign investment allowed, but with Indian control. Foreign capital was needed, but Indian ownership had to remain majority. Example, a foreign company could invest in India, but the Indian government or businesses must hold more than 50% ownership. Short trick to remember, SPPPFF. State monopoly, defense, railways, nuclear. P, public sector, government industries like steel and coal. Private sector, allowed in regulated areas. Freedom for private sector, no nationalization for 10 years. Foreign capital allowed, but Indian control remains. SPPFF equals key points of Industrial Policy 1948. Policy Resolution 1956, simplified explanation. The industrial policy of 1956 was based on the Mahalanobis model, which focused on heavy industries to ensure long-term economic growth. It promoted socialism, expanding the public sector while also encouraging private sector growth. Key features of Industrial Policy 1956. 1. Industries classified into 3 categories. Schedule A, fully controlled by the government, e.g. defense, railways, atomic energy. Schedule B, government gradually took control, but private players also participated. Schedule C, open to the private sector, e.g. consumer goods, food, textiles. 2. Support for private sector. Though the focus was on the public sector, private businesses were given financial aid and infrastructure support. Power, transport. Boost to small-scale and cottage industries. Encouraged small businesses to create jobs and use local resources. Provided tax benefits and subsidies to promote their growth. 4. Balanced regional growth. Focused on developing backward areas by setting up industries there. Private businesses got tax benefits and loans for investing in rural regions. 5. Role of foreign capital. Allowed foreign investment but ensured Indian ownership remained in control. Helped boost the balance of payments, managing imports and exports. 6. Development of skilled workers. Emphasized training in technical and managerial fields to support industrial growth. Led to the establishment of IITs, IIMs, and other technical institutes. 7. Focus on labor welfare. Recognized workers as partners in development. Improved working conditions and incentives for laborers. Why was a new policy needed after 1948? Several changes after 1948 required a new industrial policy. New Constitution of India guaranteed fundamental rights. Start of 5-year plans. Long-term economic planning. Socialist pattern of society, government-led economy. Impact of industrial policy 1956. Encouraged public sector expansion. Boosted heavy industries, steel, power, chemicals. Increased foreign investment, but with Indian control. Strengthened small businesses and regional growth. Short trick to remember, CSBFTL. C. Classification of industries, Schedule A, B, C. Est. Support for private sector. Boost to small-scale industries. F. Foreign capital allowed but Indian control. T. Training of skilled workers. L. Labor welfare. CSBFTL equals key points of Industrial Policy 1956. Industrial Policy 1991. Simplified explanation. On July 24, 1991, the new Industrial Policy NIP was introduced by P.V. Narasimha Rao. This policy transformed India's economy by reducing government control and encouraging private and foreign investments. Key features of Industrial Policy 1991. 1. Liberalization of industries. Reduced government restrictions on businesses. Allowed private companies to grow without excessive approvals. 2. Privatization. Less government, more business. Many government-run companies, public sector enterprises, were privatized, focused only on a few essential sectors, defense, atomic energy, etc. 3. Globalization. Connecting India to the world. Opened doors for foreign companies to invest in India. Encouraged export-driven growth, making Indian products competitive worldwide. 4. Foreign direct investment, FDI. Allowed foreign companies to invest freely in Indian industries. Before 1991, FDI was heavily restricted. This policy removed barriers. 5. Removal of Monopoly Restrictions, MRTP Act. MRTP Act, Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices, restricted large companies from expanding. 1991 policy removed these restrictions, allowing big businesses to grow. 6. Disinvestment, selling loss-making government companies. Many inefficient public sector units, PSUs, were sold to private players. Government reduced financial burden by selling loss-making industries. Impact of Industrial Policy 1991, faster economic growth. More job opportunities. Foreign companies entered India, e.g. Coca-Cola, Suzuki, McDonald's. Less government control on businesses. Boost to private sector and innovation. Short trick to remember. LPGFD, L, Liberalization, less government control. P. Privatization, selling of companies. Globalization, connecting to world economy. F. Foreign investment allowed. Disinvestment, selling loss-making PSUs. LPGFD equals key points of industrial policy, 1991. Salient features of new industrial policy 1991 simplified. The new industrial policy of 1991 aimed to reduce government control over industries and encourage private and foreign investments. Below are its key features. Key features of new industrial policy 1991. 1. Abolition of industrial licensing. Before 1991, businesses needed government approval to start industries. NIPP removed this requirement for most industries, except a few, like alcohol, cigarettes, explosives, and defense. Example, earlier, if someone wanted to start a steel factory, they needed a government license. After 1991, this was no longer needed. 2. Reducing public sector role. Earlier, the government controlled many industries. NIPP reduced this role. Industries reserved for the public sector dropped from 17 to 2: atomic energy and railways. Divestment. Gov started selling its shares in public companies to the private sector. Example, Air India was a public sector company, but later it was privatized. 3. Incentives for foreign investment. Allowed foreign direct investment, FDI, in high-tech and high-investment industries. 100% foreign investment allowed in infrastructure, roads, bridges, electricity, ports. Example, companies like Honda, Suzuki, and McDonald's entered India due to FDI liberalization. 4. Changes in MRTP Act. MRTP Act, Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act, earlier restricted big companies from expanding. NIP removed these restrictions, allowing businesses to grow freely. Example, Tata and Reliance expanded rapidly after the policy change. 5. Removal of Compulsory Convertibility Clause, CCC. Earlier, banks could convert business loans into equity ownership in the company if they wanted. This scared private businesses, so NAP removed this rule, making it easier to get loans. Example, before 1991, if Tata took a loan from SBI, the bank could demand ownership in Tata's company. After 1991, this was no longer allowed. Impact of NIP 1991. More industries started as licensing was removed. Foreign companies entered India, increasing jobs. Public sector burden reduced, improving efficiency. Private companies expanded, boosting economic growth. Short trick to remember. LPFMC. L. Licensing abolished. No Gov approval needed for most industries. Public sector reduced. Gov sold shares. Privatized industries. F. Foreign investment increased. FDI allowed. Foreign companies entered. M. MRTP Act changed. Big companies could expand freely. C. Convertibility clause removed. Easier for companies to take loans. LPFMC equals key features of new industrial policy 1991. Applications of new industrial policy 1991 simplified. The new industrial policy 1991 had major effects on the Indian economy, both positive and negative. Let's break it down. Positive effects of NIP 1991. 1. Rise of IT and new economy companies. Companies like Infosys, Wipro, and TCS grew rapidly after NIP 1991. Example, Infosys, a small IT company in the 1980s, became a global giant after NIP allowed private and foreign investment. 2. Indian economy saved from crisis. Before 1991, India had a severe economic crisis, low foreign reserves, high debt. NIP helped revive the economy by attracting foreign investments. Example, India's foreign exchange reserves increased significantly after NIP. 3. More entrepreneurs and business growth. NIP encouraged private businesses, helping new entrepreneurs grow. Example, Sunil Mittal started Bharti Airtel, which became a telecom leader. 4. Foreign direct investment, FDI, in advanced technology. NIP allowed foreign companies to invest in India, bringing new technology and skills. Example, companies like Toyota, Hyundai, and Nokia entered India, improving industries like automobiles and telecom. 5. Competitive strength and growth. ENAP helped Indian companies compete with multinational corporations, MNCs. Example: Reliance Industries expanded in telecom, petrochemicals, and retail, becoming a global player. 6. Healthy competition and end of monopoly law. The old MRTP Act, which restricted big companies, was removed. A new competition law was introduced to promote fair business practices. Example: Now, companies like Flipkart and Amazon compete freely in the market. 7. Long-term economic growth. More jobs, better productivity, and economic stability resulted from NIP. Government policies like tax reforms and banking reforms supported growth. Negative effects, limitations of NIP 1991. 1. Old economic system replaced. The industrial policy of 1956, considered India's economic foundation, was scrapped. 2. Indian businesses faced threats. MNCs, multinational companies, dominated the market, making survival tough for Indian businesses. Example: Many Indian textile and electronics companies shut down due to global competition. 3. Rise in fraud and scams. Due to lack of strong legal rules, frauds increased in business and stock markets. Example: Harshad Mehta scam 1992 and Nirav Modi scam 2018. 4. Foreign companies took over markets. MNCs controlled major industries like consumer goods, automobiles, and telecom. Example: Unilever, Nestle, and Samsung became dominant in Indian markets. 5. Economic and social inequality. Uneven policies created rich-poor gaps, favoring big businesses over small ones. 6. India became a market for foreign goods. Some MNCs only used India as a sales market instead of a manufacturing hub. Example: Many brands sell in India, but manufacture in China, affecting local production. Short trick to remember: EFTCGSM. Entrepreneurs increased. New businesses like Airtel, Infosys. F. Foreign investment and technology. Toyota, Hyundai came in. T. Trade and competition increased. Companies grew stronger. C. Competition law introduced. Healthy business environment. G. Growth of economy. More jobs, better GDP. Scams and frauds increased. Harshad Mehta, Nirav Modi. M. MNCs dominated markets. Indian businesses struggled. EFTCGSM Effects of New Industrial Policy 1991. Here are the short answer type questions and long answer type questions from your textbook. 3.6.1 Short answer type questions. 1. Explain the nature of Indian agriculture. 2. Discuss the extent of farm output in India. 3. What are the issues of national agricultural policy? 4. Describe the objective of ENAP. Write a note on the National Commission on Farmers. 6. State the agenda of ENAP. 7. State the nature of industry. 8. Highlight the importance of industries. 9. Describe the objectives of industrial policy. 10. Explain the features of Industrial Policy Resolution 1948. 11. Write a note on Industrial Policy 1956. 12. Describe the evaluation of Industrial Policy Resolution 1956. 13. State the salient features of the new industrial policy. Hashtra 3.66.2 Long answer type questions. 1. Discuss the concept of agriculture. Enumerate the role of agriculture in India. 2. Explain the problems of the agriculture sector in India. 3. What is agricultural policy? Describe the frameworks of agricultural policy. 4. Elaborate on the concept of ENAP. Also state the objectives and importance of ENAP. 5. Give a detailed description of the recommendations of the National Commission on Farmers. 6. Discuss the concept of industry. Explain the types of industries. 7. Define industrial policy. Highlight the importance of industrial policy. 8. Give a detailed note on Industrial Policy Resolution 1948. 9. Explain the features of Industrial Policy 1956. Also, describe the subsequent changes since Industrial Policy 1956. 10. Discuss the concept of the new industrial policy. Enumerate the implications of the new industrial policy in India. Would you like brief answers for any of these questions? Let me know.